Okay, so let's begin with these screen grabs in terms of me talking anyway. I really wanted you to be able to experience the silence of these things and how busy my environment was while this was going on. I didn't witness anyone else looking up or noticing this. And these black orb things, they were so fast that I didn't even see them until I started to look at the video and I was like, wait, what was that? Which is amazing because I had already taken screen grabs and I didn't focus on them at all. So it's pretty wild. Every single one of these 3 UAPs were shape-shifting. This was really exciting because I've been trying to actually capture one looking like this in this sort of cross pattern formation. I felt like this one was different than other things that I have seen. Not outright. Also, these just showed up. Yeah. I mean, these black things start to look kind of like people, like portals. I don't know. It's a lot of different things. Ultimately, I was really blown away. I would like to think, or not even like, I would like to think, but I think that these must be related or at least aware in the same way that, different pilots are aware of other planes, right? So somehow these are either related or at least they must know each other, of each other going through the sky. And these black ones, I don't tend to associate with government at all. They always feel galactic to me. Just because they're always doing super strange stuff. And, I mean, even in comparison, right? This is a 40-something second video. If that. I think it might actually be 39 seconds. And, maybe 40 seconds. And these black ones are speeding by this Tic Tac, which, that's already going really fast. All of this was so fast, and I was so blown away that I was able to capture this. I saw this in the sky, and I immediately ripped my phone out. This is a path that I take usually 2 to 3 times a week when I go to physical therapy, and I have seen other things, but this was definitely the best of them. And it's funny because I'm always very present when I walk, to and from. But this day in particular, I felt like I was very much focused on other things. Sorry, little yawn there. It's late as I'm editing this. And, what can I say? It's absolutely a magnificent capture. I am so eager to hear what you all think. I feel like when I used to capture TikToks, they were Tic Tacs for TikTok. No, Tic Tacs in general for me, and then for everyone else. Posting it to TikTok. But, when I used to see these Tic Tacs, I felt like they were just solid white. Even zooming in, I don't recall ever sort of seeing a door open. Having so much activity around them, they would just kind of speed by. At the same time, I didn't really feel so called to look so closely the way that I do now, frame by frame by frame. And, I'd love to know if you're enjoying these frame by frames, because honestly, they take a really long time. So as you can see, this particular video of the replay, it was a 40-second video, and it took me over 13 minutes. And that's just the video length. That does not include actually, how long it takes me sometimes to get certain sometimes I'll pause it and then restart it, because I'm trying to get you the exact view, and I really want to give you a sense of what's going on. I think it's so valuable when we can really debunk these by going frame by frame. It allows for everyone to get a much clearer vision on what is happening moment to moment. And I think it just becomes, less debatable at that point. Really, I think it's more debatable as to like, who does it belong to and what is it doing and why is it here? What it's doing, it's definitely, all three of them are shape-shifting. The black ones don't seem to be necessarily releasing or receiving anything by sight, versus the white ones with the, this like black door in the center, that are doing even more extreme, almost shape-shifting and also releasing and receiving things. So I have many questions, many that have gone unanswered. I'm very interested in putting more time into my galactic channeling to get these types of answers. Ultimately, all of this takes time. It's part of why a lot of these sightings that I've had are not up, because it does take a lot of time to go through them and be able to show you the original, and trying not to edit it while also showcasing to you all of the specific elements. And the way that I can prove to you that it is original is by doing the screen grab, and that process takes a long time. But I gotta tell you, I used to do the other form of editing and splicing through and zooming in and all that in iMovie. That takes a really long time. I actually prefer this method. So I'm curious to know what you think we are looking at. What are your thoughts on what they're doing here? Do you feel that there's a connection between the two black ones and the white one? I guess it's even theoretically possible that these two black ones are unrelated, although they look pretty spot on like the same thing, and they came so quickly, one after another. And it's funny because right now it's coming up is they were like, oh, well, you almost didn't capture that first one, so we thought we would just throw another one your way. But it's exciting to see different UAPs in one video, especially one that was this unique. And I felt like what was also unique about this was I could see the black center with my naked eye, and I don't usually see that. Usually I get to see those types of specific details when I'm zooming in. So it was super clear to me that this was a UAP from the absolute moment that I saw it in the sky. And, many of my videos that are... Oh, one of my... the lights in my apartment just flashed confirmation. In terms of the fact that I do many of these from inside my apartment, and I do have plenty of outdoor ones, it's amazing to be able to show this quality without an interruption of a window, but also allow you to see that what I am seeing at my apartment is both similar, the same / different than, what it is that I'm seeing out and about. In other words, there's a lot of the same things, who's to say whether they are, exactly the same, but there's very clear indicating similarities and differences. There's a very stark difference between the Tic Tac and these black ones. Things are getting more and more exciting, and I am experiencing more and more synchronicities and really interesting symbols and signals from the universe that I'm meant to be sharing these things, that I'm meant to be seeing them, and really breaking it down. And there are so many that have been doing this for much longer than I have, But ultimately, it's not about that. It's about we all deserve to know what is going on, and we are all having these sightings. And one of the ways that humanity gets anything accomplished is by realizing that we have things in common that we are experiencing. And the more that we share these, the less that people feel alone, the more that people feel validated. We help on the scientific and spiritual levels to get to the bottom of these things. So that way we can all get on the same page. Because I can tell you that, the unconditionally loving beings out there, even the ones that are supporting us, look at us as, these juveniles because there's just so much anger and war and aggression and arguing over this. They're waiting to discover when people are ready, but things are getting revealed more and more. And as we continue to go on this path, because I don't believe that there is any looking back at this point, with the fact that we have all this technology, I think it's just a matter of how do we move forward each and every moment. And I think it's important that we share with integrity. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, I don't know what to believe because I'm seeing so many AI things, or if you're someone that's creating AI things, it's important that we're upfront. Do not pretend that your AI thing is real, and do not make an AI thing just to confuse people. It's not helping. I absolutely believe in creative expression. I love art. I consider myself an artist in many ways. And I believe that everyone has the right to share and express however they desire. And I would like people to be very mindful of how they're impacting things collectively. Because right now, so many people on different levels of this, whether they woke up yesterday to their first ever experience or they've been chasing them down for, many decades, everyone's looking for answers. And you may catch someone in a moment where your video has high resonance with them, or that they trust you and they take your word, they take your sighting. And it's scary to me to see how many videos are AI. They even state that they're AI and people are not looking and paying attention, and then they're engaging in the comments as if it's real. And this is why people are so confused. When you come across a video, look to see if it's AI, look for those markers, look to read the text, see if they're saying this is AI, this is faked, kind of thing. And, do your own research, have discernment within yourself. I am always checking in with myself as to how I feel when I'm having these experiences. And that's a huge way that I figure out who is responsible for these. Perhaps not the very specific species, and I can typically discern between whether it is government, whether it is galactic, whether it's government, galactic in nature. I always get a feeling whether I'm excited, happy, in awe versus feeling terrified. And honestly, there are very few times where I have felt truly scared within my experiences. And so it's important. And I would not have that perspective if I buried my head in every horror movie or every AI moment. I have to focus on what it means for me and how I feel about it. And what I feel is that I've been cultivating for longer than I can probably imagine a beautiful relationship and agreement with any number of entities, especially the Galactic Federation, and it's making it possible for me to have these different experiences because I'm now on the frequency able to have these experiences. I feel so blessed, so grateful, so lucky that I have the opportunity to have these experiences and that I get the opportunity to share them. And for those who are new or are not ready to see, that's okay too. Everyone has their path. Do not waste time trying to push people past their limits. If they are not seeing these, then there is a reason they are not seeing these. But chances are, if you've gotten this far in my video, you are pretty into UAPs, because this was a pretty long one. So I commend you. I look forward to hearing all of the thoughts. Please, as always, be unconditionally loving and kind in the comments. It's important that we continue to hold space for all beliefs and experiences in order for us to actually figure out what is going on. And remember that humanity in itself is a collective consciousness. It is a team. So be a team player. I love you unconditionally.